Hi, I'm Jon Robinson, Manager of Entrepreneurship Programs at the Kauffman Foundation, and your guest host for this week's Top of Mind. We're going to be talking about community colleges as a front door to entrepreneurship with Paul Corson, Executive Director of Innovation Fund America. I'm Jon Robinson, and this is Top of Mind. Thanks for joining us on Top of Mind. I'm here with my good friend and colleague and the Executive Director of Innovation Fund America, Mr. Paul Corson. Thanks for being here, Paul.
Thank you.
So let me cut to the chase. What is Innovation Fund America?
Entrepreneurship means a lot of things to a lot of people, and so does innovation. And I think the essence of what Innovation Fund America is, it's a new way of looking at how we try and support entrepreneurs when they're at the earliest stage and when they're at their most vulnerable stage in the process. What we're trying to do is to help reduce some of the risk associated with first-time entrepreneurship, and that risk gets associated with both the individual or the team and the technology. And what we're trying to say to people is, look, if you have an idea, if you invest a little bit of your money, if you're so fortunate that you've been able to get some money from friends and family or other way, and you think that you do want to try and take your idea and scale it and make a tech-based, innovation-based startup or company, then come into the process and we're going to work with you and we're going to try and help you understand what it means to raise money, to hire a team, to develop a prototype, and to scale your business. And through that process, hopefully the individual becomes a little bit more knowledgeable about it and becomes, a convert to what it means to be the founder of a high-growth business. And hopefully they will also be able to develop a prototype and to create a technological product that is of interest to a follow-on funder.
Great. So take us into how the sausage is made and how is IFA different from the great many number of other programs that are out there to support high-growth, tech-based entrepreneurship?
Sure. I think one thing that we do is we try and lure people in with the money, but once we get them in, we really try and keep them with the education. At heart, this is really an effort to educate folks about what it means to be an entrepreneur, what it means to be the founder of a high-growth, tech-based business. And so, to step back just for a moment, we center these at community colleges around the country. And the idea there, much like in keeping with Kauffman's idea of democratizing entrepreneurship, a community college is a place that really doesn't pose a threat to anyone. They're a natural partner with industry, they're a natural partner with community, they're a natural partner with economic development officials, and they're a natural place for anyone with an idea or with a desire to make something more of themselves to go. And so we have the community college basically administer the fund and the education program, but then at the same time, what we're trying to do is change the mindset around what it means to be engaged in economic development at a higher ed institution. Traditionally, that's meant workforce development, working with industry to retrain or train workers. But what we're saying here is, there's another career option other than just going and working for somebody else. A workforce development career option might be building your own company. And so we have them go through this application process, and then everyone who goes through that gets a chance to pitch. Right? We run it with the support and the nurturing of a mentorship program, but with the rigor of an angel or a VC type fund. They come in, they pitch, they get 25 minutes, 15 minutes to pitch their product, and 10 minutes of Q&A. Right? And then we invite the finalists to come back and pitch again a second time. Hopefully they've learned, hopefully they've taken some of the feedback that we've given, and then in that second pitch competition we winnow it down and try and give out a couple of $25,000 grants and a few $100,000 loans, and then work with the companies over the course of anywhere from 6 months to a year or so to do milestone-driven metric-based analysis of their progress. and then hopefully prepare them for follow-on funding.
The program has already been tremendously successful in Northeast Ohio, and now, based on that success, the Kauffman Foundation and Lorain County Community College have partnered to form Innovation Fund America to help take this proven model to communities around the country. We've been working hand in glove, I think, with two communities to this point. Can you tell us a little bit about what we've been doing?
Yeah, two fabulous partners. The idea of this pilot program has not been about to replicate the success that we had in Northeast Ohio in communities similar to Northeast Ohio and prove that we're a one-trick pony. What we've actually done is just the opposite and say, what are some of the most difficult conditions that we can try and implement this program? And then say, what can we learn from this experience to make this available on a broader scale? And so we picked the LA Basin and we picked the state of North Carolina. And we're very fortunate to have two incredible partners. Long Beach City College is leading the effort throughout LA and Orange counties. And we're focusing on a region that's sort of bounded by geography because of the traffic congestion, because of the difficulty and the hyper micro-regionalism. Can I say that better?
Segmentation.
The segmentation of the market there. It's basically in the north, bounded by our mountain range out to the east and down into Orange County, an area of probably 13 million people, right? How can we try and make an impact focusing on $25,000 grants and $100,000 no interest, non-collateralized loans in that type of a market? Then in North Carolina, that's a state that's traditionally been focused either on just the research triangle, or it's suffered from more not hyper-segmented, but geographically segmented, the western part of the state, the central part of the state, and the coastal or eastern part of the state. And there we have another incredible partner, Catawba Valley Community College. And what we're trying to there is break down some of those regional barriers, artificial barriers, and make this available on a statewide basis. We've just launched in North Carolina our first round. We're looking to fund anywhere between, say, 4 and 6 companies this first round before the end of this year, and then scale it going into 2014.
How is this helping to solve some of the access to capital problems that exist in communities around this country?
Sure. I think we've had, over the last several years, especially with the economic crisis that we've had as a nation, we've seen a couple of things happen. One is investors chase returns. They're in it for the returns. They're not in it just because they want to do good. And so the returns have been easier to get the further downstream you go, because the risk is lessened, is reduced. So you have one pool on money going downstream, and then we like to still talk about, the entrepreneur who's in their garage and they've, maxed out 3 credit cards and they've put a second mortgage on their home and they've used their friends and family's money. How many people really have friends and family money right now to be playing with? Right. How many people have a second mortgage? People can't get a first mortgage, right? We don't have 3 or 4 or 5 credit cards that are maxed. We're all paying down our credit cards. So we've had this chasm now where the early stage money that the individuals used has sort of dried up, but the later stage money has gone further later stage. And so this money is really meant to fill a lot of that gap. We offer a $25,000 grant, no equity. It's not like an accelerator where you come in and you get $18,000 for 6% of the company or something like that. This money, it's free money. Now, what you have to do for that free money, right, is you have to compete. Yeah. You have to have somewhat of a viable business idea and product, right? And you also have to agree to take on a mentor, take on a coach, be taught a little bit.
You have to be coachable.
That's right. You can't just say, give me the money and leave me alone.
Right.
Right? So Then the second round, our B round, is a $100,000 non-collateralized loan. And what we're trying to say there is, you've proven you're worth a little bit more of an investment, but this is starting to be a little bit serious money. The goal for the fund is to be evergreen, so we can't just give out money with no expectation of return, and we also think it helps for you to feel a bit of a bottom line. So what we don't want is you to lose your house or your property or something like that. If you go under, you go under, right? We've all made the best shot. Shame on us if we finance somebody who just is looking to burn $100K. But we do expect you to pay it back.
Without interest.
Typically, the model has been without interest. And maybe that's a little bit short-sighted on our side because there is a cost to time, cost to money. But it's never been about a traditional fund or portfolio management.
Can you talk a little bit, maybe first, about some of the economic development statistics that are associated with the program, with the Innovation Fund of Northeast Ohio?
Like you say, it was done first. The prototype was done in Northeast Ohio, and Innovation Fund America is really a pilot program to take that prototype and see if we can't scale it. So much like we teach the entrepreneurs, you develop your prototype, you prove that it can work, and then you try and scale. That's what we're doing here. And that prototype was very effectively developed in Northeast Ohio by Lorain County Community College in partnership with a number of regional actors, economic development organizations, universities, other support players. And what they've done since 2007 is raised in total $14 million. They've invested about $7.1 million. So like I said before, it's not like a traditional fund where you have an amount of money, you invest it all, and you wait 10 years, right? They've invested half of that $14 million, typically give out about $350,000 a quarter, typically make somewhere around $200,000 investments and maybe anywhere from 4 to 6 $25,000 grants. Those companies, right now it's about 110, 115 companies. They have raised an additional $90 million, so we've exceeded the 10x figure. Those companies have collectively created over 350 jobs. And they've also done something which gets at the educational component. It's not just about educating the founders, but it's also about educating the next generation of potential entrepreneurs. So every $100,000 awardee portfolio company has to provide a paid internship to a student, not just from the community college, Lorain County Community College, but from any of the partners or any of the folks in the region. So the 100-some-odd companies have provided over 150 paid internships to students.
This is really getting to this idea that whereas the perception might be that innovative companies come out of research universities and hospitals, to be sure that's true, but it also comes out of garages, it also comes out of hobbyists who are tinkerers by night, and it can come from some very unexpected places. Can you give me a couple of examples from the Ohio Fund of companies that have come out of maybe the road less traveled?
Sure. There are several different examples. So I'll go traditional all the way to road less traveled. One of our biggest success stories is a company that's gotten traditional SBIR grants from the government. They've licensed technology, developed technology, affiliated with university, and they've developed the capability through a particular glass particle to help do environmental remediation. And so was even used during the Gulf oil spill, to help try and clean some of the oil from the Gulf waters. Can be used for water purification, that type of thing. We've had, at the other end of the spectrum, we've had some hobbyists who are looking at bicycle pedals and the ability to capture more of the force in the kinetic energy of a body that gets lost in the circular motion of a pedal. so we can capture more of that potential energy, I should say, and turn it into kinetic energy through a downward pedal stroke rather than a circular pedal stroke.
And the founder of that company, is that person, does he work at Trek, or is he an engineer of some kind?
No. Somebody from the community, like we talked about, right? Had an idea, able to develop it enough to capture the imagination of the Innovation Fund, comes in, uses our 25K to begin to work on that, gets a hobbyist cyclist who engages in ultra cycling, 100-mile trek, that, to begin using it, and so that's how that design got developed.
And we expect to see some really tremendous results over the next few months.
Thank you for your support. It wouldn't have happened without the support of the Kauffman Foundation.
Oh, well, we always like to hear that. No, thanks for joining us on Top of Mind, and thank you for joining us as well.